Yeah, very good afternoon, students. So we are today starting unit number 2. So unit number 2 in smart sensor and application is data acquisition through sensor. Okay, I think you all know what is data acquisition. So try to capture the data, remove the noise. Okay, so that is data acquisition. That here done through sensor. So that is about this unit is. So let us start with content of your unit number 2 is as follows. We will discuss about amplification, then signal conditioning. So under this amplification and the signal conditioning, you have instrumentation amplifier, rail to rail operational amplifier, and then 4 to 20 milliamps signal transmitter, then digital conversion like analog to digital and digital to analog conversions, then MCU is microcontroller control and sensor interface, techniques and system integration, then we will see about linearization. Okay, so first of all let us start with what is an amplifier. So why you need this amplifier? So everything you should know what is the need. So by knowing the need only we can proceed. So when you take any signals, the amplitude of the signal will be very less. Okay, so that cannot be given to any further processing, that cannot be directly given to next level of processing. So for example, if you take your brain signals, okay, the level of the brain signal will be very weak. So what you have to do is, before going for storing or processing of the signal, you have to go for amplifying. Amplifying is increasing the level. So you can see here a small input signal, when passes through an amplifier, the level of the signal is, the waveform is not changed, only you have to raise the level. Okay, so here this amplifier is called as inverting amplifier. So what you have given is in amplified, but it is inverted. Okay, there are amplifiers so where whatever you give as an input will be amplified without inverting. Okay, so if non-inverting amplifier, then you can see the waveform will be on initially on positive half cycle and then negative. See here it is positive and then negative. So amplifier is an electronic device or circuit which is used to increase the magnitude of the signal applied to its unit. So how you can do? So law of energy of conservation says energy be neither created nor destroyed, can only transformed from one form to other, which means if I say amplification, how the signal level is amplified? Because by taking some external inputs. Okay, so from here I will get some external power supply. So the signal is amplified with the help of the power supply which you are connecting. Okay, so it is not that nothing you give in and just you amplify. Okay, next is transistor as an amplifier. You might have studied a subject called electron devices, where you might have studied a person called a transistor. A transistor can be operated in 3 different configurations. First one is common base, second they call it as common emitter, and the third one they call it as common collector. The word common here is, there are only 3 terminal, one is called base, another one is emitter, and collector, who is kept between the both. Okay, that is called common. So in this circuit you can see here, this side you have base and the closing path is done with the emitter. So this is base emitter this side, and similarly collector shares this emitter. So emitter is now common between the base and the collector. So this is this configuration. So among 3, for amplification we go with common emitter configurations. Okay, so a transistor connected in common emitter configuration, we can do amplification. Okay, so I told energy be neither created nor destroyed. So the energy from here is transferred, that's all. So the input is taken, you give this signal to amplify your output. So this is the output characteristics. The output characteristics of common emitter clearly shows, see, this is not a flat line, rather this is linearly increasing. So just if you draw a vertical line here, and when you give input, you can see it will get amplified because of this variation in the graph. If the line is flat, then what you give will be the output. So you might have even studied common base configuration and common base output characteristics, where the lines will be a straight line in case of common base, whereas in common emitter only, it is a linearly increasing. So try to understand that only if the lines is like this, you can go for amplification. So output characteristics is drawn between collector current and the collector to emitter voltage. So when you say output characteristics, what is the output here? Output, see, this side we call it as input, this side we call it as output. And in output characteristics, output voltage, output current. So current is IC, voltage is measured across this two terminal, and this is input. So for each and every input, you can see what will be the output. So these are the various inputs, like IB is equal to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, but in order of microamps. Okay, so for various input, what is the output? That is called output characteristics. See, when you have to be tested, how we will test? We will not test on a single day. Why we keep assessment 1, 2, 3 and all? It is just to find the cumulative. Within one test, we cannot identify your behavior, your talent. So in one test, there may be some health issues or some other issue might have there, so that your performance in that test may be less compared to other. So we try to take average, then only we will identify. Similar way here, output characteristics for various input is being done. So from that, we say that for increase in input, there is change in output. Now let us move on to instrument amplifier. So I think now you have a basic idea of what is amplifier, what is the need for amplifier, then how this amplification is done. With the help of your output characteristics, we were able to understand what is amplification is. Okay, an instrument amplifier is a one kind of integrated circuit, which means, what is meant by integrated circuit? Everything is bought under a single IC, mainly used for amplifying a signal. This amplifier comes under the family of differential amplifier. So differential amplifier is, the amplifier will have two inputs. You have to give signal to the two pins. So either you will give to one, another one will be grounded. Now the difference between the two will be amplified. Obviously one you have kept it as ground, so remaining one is there, that will be amplified, that's all. So it comes under the family of differential amplifier. The main function of this amplifier is to suppress the noise and try to remove the noise, common mode rejection ratio, and try to get the signal out. Okay, see, even if you get the signal from brain, for each and every action there is a signal generated. See, even you can imagine, if your mind say lift your hand will not move. Your hand will move only if brain gives the signal. Okay, so your mind and brain, if it works togetherly, then you will be a normal person. If anyone is lagging, then automatically either you will go in coma or you will go as a mental. What you don't know what you are doing, then in coma your brain may give signal but no action will be there, but you are not dead. Okay, so that is the case. The instrument amplifier IC is an essential component in designing the circuit due to its characteristics like ICMMR. ICMMR is nothing but I common mode rejection ratio, which means the noise signal has to be removed. Okay, removal of that noise. Okay, open loop gain is I, low drift as well as low DC offset. So there are some characteristics which is required, and that characteristics are present in instrumentation amplifier. An instrument amplifier is used to amplify very low level signal rejecting noise and the interface signal. See, if you tap your brain, at an instant you will get thousands of signal, and now you cannot, you can remove noise, but the signal itself there are around 1000 signals. So I need a particular signal, so remaining signal also I should leave. Only the signal which I need has to be taken. Okay, example are heartbeat, blood pressure, temperature, all this you can measure in your body itself. Then earthquake, a small vibration, you have to identify that vibration is occurring. That will be very small, but you have to amplify your signal, and then I tell what is the level of the earthquake which has occurred. Then comes your essential characteristics. So if you say a good instrumentation amplifier, it should have some characteristics. Similar way, if you want to say a student has a good character, we say so many rules. Okay, so like that, for an instrumentation amplifier also there are some essential characteristics. Input to the instrumentation amplifier will have very low signal energy, therefore the instrumentation amplifier should have high gain and should be accurate, which means it should amplify only the signal. It should not amplify the noise or the signal which is not required. The gain should be easily adjustable using a single control. By adjusting the gain only you can increase the level of amplification. Only by the gain you can increase the level of amplification. It must have high input impedance and low output impedance to prevent loading. High input impedance, which means it should be capable of getting connected to the sensor and get all the signal in without leaving anything, and low output impedance should be able to give up all the signal after amplification without anything which is left inside. So it is a box like structure which should absorb all and try to give everything outside. Okay, assume like that it is a box where it tried to, when you talk with respect to input side, it should absorb all, nothing it should leave. But if you talk with respect to output, it should not absorb anything, it should emit all outside. Okay, if that is there, then you call it as high input impedance and low output impedance. The instrument amplifier should have an high CMMR, since the transducer output will usually contain some common mode signal such as noise when transmitted over a long wires. If I amplify, I should only amplify the signal, side by side I should not amplify the noise. So if you amplify the noise, CMR will come down, CMR will come down. Okay, it must also have an high slew rate. Slew rate is nothing but, see, for example, in a class a particular staff comes and asks, is there any chalk is available? All will look into it, and some person will identify at a faster rate and he will say it is there. So it means his response time is very fast. So slew rate is response time, how much fast I am able to respond for the change in the input. If the input is changing, so then how fast I am able to respond to that particular input, we call it as slew rate. So an instrumentation amplifier should have very high slew rate, because see, your brain gives the signal in the speed of nanoseconds. Even furthermore it can give, but let us assume nanoseconds. Unfortunately, our eyes, we cannot even see milliseconds. Okay, so only in seconds we can see. Even in milliseconds our eyes is we are unable to see any object change at less than milliseconds, or even not even milliseconds. We can see only with respect to seconds. Some will have a very high power where they were able to see at some around some milliseconds. Okay, but the signals are working at nanosecond speed. So for that nanosecond speed, your amplifier also should able to receive. So that is called high slew rate. Now this is the diagram of an instrumentation amplifier. Okay, so I use 3 set of transistor configuration. All are operated in, let us assume there is inside you have only transistor that is operating in common emitter configuration, and that is try to do your amplification. Now The instrument amplifier using op-amp circuit is shown below. The op-amp 1 and 2, okay, the op-amp 1 and 2 are non-inverting amplifier, and op-amp 3 is a differential amplifier, okay. So op-amp 1 and 2 are non-inverting. Non-inverting means what you give should come out without there is a change in sign. So that you can see here. Here they have marked plus, here they have marked minus, similarly here minus, here plus. So when you get the input on plus symbol, you will say it has been operated in non-inverting. When you give the input signal on the minus terminal of your op-amp, then it is working on inverting, okay. So these two op-amps are operated in non-inverting, and this op-amp is operated on differential mode. See, output from first amplifier and the output from the second amplifier is given as an input for this amplifier. So this amplifier is said to be operated in differential amplifier mode. These three op-amps together form an instrumentation amplifier. So put together all these three, we call it as, combinedly we say it as instrumentation amplifier. The final output Vout is amplified difference of the input signal applied to the two input terminal of op-amp 3. So usually one we will try to give the signal and another try to give ground. Either you can give input here or input there, and the remaining should be out 0. So if you give a signal of 2 volt, it will be amplified. So signal level of 2 volt, which means this should be ground, this should be 2. So that will be amplified because difference is only been amplified. So difference will be again a 2. So that 2 will be amplified depending upon the gain. Gain we have told, gain is nothing but that will tell about the maximum amplification. Let the output of op-amp 1 and 2 be V01 and V02 respectively. The output Vout will be R3 divided by R2, okay, R3 divided by R2 into V01 minus V02, okay. This R3 R2 are these two resistance, okay. So based upon these two resistance divide, then you will multiply with the difference. So this is just an op-amp structure. When you say an op-amp will have all these terminals. So one is called non-inverting input, another one is called inverting input. For this op-amp to work, I should need a negative power supply and a positive power supply. See, if you are giving ground here, then I can make this terminal also ground. But if you are giving 3 volt here and minus 3 volt here, obviously output will become 0. But let us assume here plus 5 and you are giving minus 3 here. So difference of this 2 will be amplified. So 2 volt is the difference that will be amplified and will be given here. So to do that process, I require a negative power supply also. So I should give plus 5 minus 5. Then only any value, any input value within this range will be amplified, okay. Operation of an instrumentation amplifier. This is an op-amp is in 2 stage, namely buffering stage and a differential stage. The instrumentation amplifier only we have written it as IN ampere. IN-amp is called as instrumentation amplifier. Starts with 2 signal that the user would like to get the differential output. The signals are applied one each to non-inverting terminal of the op-amp in the first stage. This allows for the input device to see the large resistance and reduce current drawn. In an ideal operational amplifier, the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is equal to that of inverting terminal. Therefore, the point 1, 2, the voltage V1 and V2 are respectively. So this V1 and V2 are respectively. The second stage, what we are doing, second stage of the example of our instrumentation amplifier is a differential op-amp with an input being the voltage at point 3 and 4, namely V3 and V4. So you can see in this graph, in this this is V1 V2 and this is V3 V4. The output of this stage is final output, that we call it as V out. The output of this amplifier will be of V4 minus V3. The output in terms of the input, the relation between V4 minus V3 and V1 minus V2 must be found. Okay, so for that we have the formula calculating I, that is V3 minus V4 divided by the remaining R2 plus gain, and then if you simplify it, finally you get it as V2 minus V1 into 2R plus 1 by R gain. So the resistance which plays the major role is your gain resistance. So that is there here. Okay, this gain resistance is only going to tell about the amplification. So proper selection of that gain resistance is playing a major role. Features: the main purpose of using an instrumentation amplifier is to make the difference of the two signal and the gain the resultant signal. The one important part of getting the best resolution is to reject signal common to both. So common to both, if I reject, then that is nothing but the noise. Okay, so if I do that, then I will have I CMMR ratio, so that is a very good. However, in an instrumental amplifier, due to differential amplifier in the second stage has much better CMRR, as it uses the op amp full ability to attenuate common mode signal. So since you are using a differential amplifier in a stage 2, that will try to totally remove all the common mode noise. Having high common mode rejection ratio has added benefit of increasing the acceptable range of input on the pins. Normally a common mode voltage would appear in the output. However, CMRR of an instrumentation amplifier will be around 120 dB, or the ratio of 1:10. If you give 2 volt, 2 into 10, 20 volts will be the maximum amplification level. So this means for every 1 volt of common mode input, only 1 microvolt will appear as a output. One could simply use the differential amplifier to reach these same goals. These may be the desirable if the common mode voltage exceeds the power supply voltage, which the instrumentation amplifier cannot handle. Unfortunately, often to achieve this goal, differential amplifier use large resistor that add to the noise and very sensitive to matching of this resistance used. So okay, now commercial available instrumentation amplifier, an IC is available in shop. The number is INA 326. So INA 326 is the commercial amplifier, instrumentation amplifier made by Texas Instrument. Texas, I think you all know, it is in US. They are the manufacturer of ICs. So Texas manufacture an IC called INA 326. This INA 326 is an instrumentation amplifier. It has rail to rail input common mode range. In the next class we will see what is called rail to rail. Okay, we will see what is rail to rail in next class, meaning the average range of output can appear on the inverting and non-inverting pin and can be anything around ground and power supply. That I will tell you later. It is capable of this by change pump instead of applying a voltage directly. So let us see the diagram. So this is that case. So inside a single IC we have brought this. Rather, when you see, when the op amps are externally connected, what will be the issue is, what type of wires you connect here. So if you connect normal wires, then the wire itself will be cause for loss. Wire itself will have high resistance. This resistance are all wire resistance. So what to do? It is easy to bring everything inside a single IC. When you bring inside a single IC, what you will do, all that will be done by silver or gold. So this connections and all will be made by gold wires or silver wire. So why this has been done is, only gold and silver are very good conductor, which means the resistance is very low. So if the resistance is very low, nothing is lost, everything is transferred, so loss become less. So that is the reason why even all the pins of your microprocessor or the processor in your system, since your background is computer science, you should know that the process pin are of gold. Either it will be gold dipped or the pure gold. Even if you see the YouTube, there are so many videos, they will show how to take gold from the all ICs. So when you connect all the processor IC and then try to heat and melt, then there is a process for that. You cannot just put in a bowl and you can eat. That is not the possible. There are some procedures, like you have to add so many chemicals. If you add it, then you can try to get back all the gold which is being used. So that is being done. So all the connections are made via gold wires or silver wires, so that makes the operation to be more better. Okay, so one input you get it here in A1 and another input you get it in A2. So these are V in minus and V in plus. So these are the two pins. Here one is already been, two negatives are left open. You should connect a resistor outside. So 1 2 3 4, here the pin number is different because this is an IC from Texas, so they have named it as number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, number 4 is here, number 5 and number 6, number 7 and finally number 8. Okay, so it is an 8 pin IC. So on each side of the IC you will have 4 pins, and this is nothing but, when you say you connect capacitor to between these two, it is for filtering purpose. It used to filter the unwanted signals. Okay, so that is with respect to this. So this is as a single IC commercially available. When you go for instrumentation amplifier, try to get this IC and try to use it. So the signal from the brain directly we can give to this INA326, and this INA326 will amplify and try to give it to you for your further process. So you can see here that yellow lines are the inputs and the green lines are output. Here we are showing example of inverting type, which means this, that pin number 2 and pin number 3, they will connect the resistor, and the input is given on pin number 1 and pin number 8. So when you give input on pin number 1 and pin number 8, you will get inverting type. So you can see here, here you have a signal in positive direction, whereas the amplified signal is in negative direction, which means it is inverted. Okay, the output is inverted. So it is a 2-channel. The data is taken in a 2-channel CRO. So one is indicating the input and another is indicating your output. Conclusion: instrumentation amplifiers are good device to use when trying to amplify the differential signal, provides the signal inputs are within the power supply range. Instrumentation amplifiers are capable of applying the signal with high CMMR. In an instrumentation amplifier that are rail to rail are becoming more common and making an instrumentation amplifier output voltage swing larger than the typical op-amp equivalent. It is important, however, to be carefully examine the data sheet of different instrumentation amplifier, as their implementation may require certain extra components and design specification. All that you will need when you do the project. Okay, so when you do the project, you have to initially take the data sheet and go through the data sheet, and then what the data sheet says you have to do. Okay, so this first session we shall stop with this.